This is your daily market review for Monday, March 11th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Monday, March 11th, 2024. Interesting sideways choppy day after a down day on Friday. To me, looking like the top. You have the CPI data coming out tomorrow. Who knows how we're going to react? They're expecting inflation to come in, I don't know, about where it's been for what seems like forever. Too high. That's how I look at it. What's the next step? What's going to happen? I mean, again, if you look at some of the semi-names and some of the action, it clearly looks like you have topping action coming in after a wild ride that nobody expected to go as high as it did. Now, again, some people will say, well, hey, it always goes up. Well, that's interesting in perspective, because once people start believing in that, that's when it doesn't. So be careful out there, because, again, the odds of a recession coming this year are huge. Higher interest rates will have a lagging effect. The economy is slowing. The data is slowing, in my opinion, rapidly, but doesn't necessarily mean the market has to slow down just yet. We'll see what happens here. Again, whatever you do, be careful. Have stops. Define your risk. If you're shorting, define your risk. Have stops. I mean, either way, if you're long, roll it up. So, yep, inflation tomorrow. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Check out the Discord room, link description below. If you have any desire to buy, sell, trade, real estate, investment properties, let me know how I can help. There's a lot of people out there who are struggling to look for a home. Maybe I can help you find a great agent in your area. Maybe you're looking to sell. Guess what? Do not work with cheapo agents telling you save 1% on your list and you'll make 5-10% less on your sale price. I see it all the time, people trying to go cheap. Follow, briefing, thetradingagent.com. Again, here's the link to the Discord room. Get all your benefits, recommended reading, reach out, interactive brokers link. Don't be scared. Also, get your Marcus, your 5.5%. Follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube. I appreciate it. Follow on the Twitter, posting trades all the time, what we think is going on, keeping you informed. If you need to, use the Zoom chat, and we can connect. CME. All right. At this point, March meeting next week, odds of a rate hike cut, 0. Bitcoin. Surprised it broke out? No, yes, not. I see Larry Fink and I see all the big boys now talking about people need to buy Bitcoin. That makes me a little nervous, but hey, whatever you do, and here's an example. Once the straight line move, it gets a little dicey. Be careful. I don't know how high it's going to go, but roll up your stops. The more you're up, the less you're in. People go, oh, no, you don't get the whole move. Well, again, you don't know the whole move. People always try to pretend like, oh, you can't lose if you just hold on forever. Well, again, some products, as you've seen, if they're not indexes, don't work like that. Oil, all the time. Like I said, do you want to hold oil forever? Do you want to hold gold forever? If you did, you've been struggling at times because things go nowhere. Sometimes they price in after the fact, and then they go nowhere forever. And there's next trade. That's the point. Oil, major resistance. Natural gas, as we talked about, the first bottom will always have some sort of retest later on. Here you go. Will it get back all the way under $1.67? I don't know. Be careful. Ten cuidado. Dollar held. Not surprised. We said watch what happens. It was looking like it was peaking out again with some gaps. Then the 20-day broke. First support holding so far. TLT again. This is what's got to be stressful for the markets. Is again higher rates where they're at. We'll see. Again, if the market dumps, rates should go lower. That's what the Feds want. Trust me, that is what they want. VIX, we talked about riding that just like kind of whooshing up and down action. There it is, VIXen. Hot damn. Looks like it's holding up. VIX, we talked about bottomed. Look at that. Looks like it's bottoming. So just be careful out there, okay? Oh, I apologize. I don't have my volume up there. SPY said on Friday or last week, going into this week, it's going to be choppy. Man, riding the lightning. This is hard to sustain. We haven't had any major pullbacks. Do the math. 25% returns that quick. Yikes. Sorry, not SPX. QQQ we talked about. Look at this. Double top. Gap down. Big volume. Now you have to hold the 20-day. That's all I said on the post during the day. I'm like, just watch it. Has to hold the 20-day. So far, so good. Here you go. Next, we've got IWM chopping around. I don't know. DIA, Here you go. Chopping around. Again, IWM, I talked about this being a fake breakout. I apologize. It's just coming right back in. Gold breaks out near term. Raise your stops. I don't know if I trust it because I don't see silver confirming it. Doesn't necessarily mean gold has to rise. Again, it could be also showing you a lot of crap going on in the rest of the world. If you own gold, congrats. I mean, again, I've owned physical for a while, anticipating these days. Nothing new. I mean, this is what you own it for. It's like Bitcoin. If you, again, this is the thing. If you have Bitcoin cold storage, you're not trading it. That's what you waited for. Silver chopping around. I mean, this is why it's hard to trust. Lagging. GDX gets over the 30 level. Not surprised. Coming into some gaps. When you zoom out, you go, man, this stuff has just got a lot of run, or it's about to get crushed. And people go, well, how would it get crushed? And again, it's if the market gets dumped, they throw the baby out the bathwater. All these names are part of the indexes. I would watch the levels. Again, I mean, I'm not chasing them. And again, the easiest time would be to buy this is when the Feds pivot and they pump all that liquidity in. This stuff will go absolutely bonkers. AEM, AG, they all look, again, you have references, even Newmont. We talked about, man, riding the channel lows has to start rocking at some point. I mean, this thing is not, I mean, it's 70% off its highs. It's crazy. How much lower can it go? Again, I don't know. I'm not saying this has to go lower. It just could be a lot of these names stay in this choppy, sloppy mess. Just be careful out there, okay? If you own this stuff for the long run, okay. Thoughts, prayers, be with you. Be good. Taiwan Semi said on Friday, or said on the weekend, like, this is crazy. Here you go. Gap down. You go from 160 down to 140. Maybe it needs a day or two of chopping. Who knows? Micron, same kind of thing. Breaks out. Comes right back. AMD. Hey, everybody says it's going to the moon. That candle is the moon topper. NVIDIA, same thing. Moon topper candle. It's done. It doesn't mean it can't just chop around, but it looks like it's topped. I mean, that's what the top of a volcano looks like, right? The top of Mount Everest. Not healthy action. SMCI, another gap down. Saw Intel chopping around. Not surprised. Man, it's holding on to its lifeline and the channel lows. SMH. Talked about this topping out. Look at the volume. Holding the 8 and 10 day. Just keep an eye on it. Adobe has earnings coming up. Chopping at the 20-day. I mean, this one's tough. Near term, I could see it getting short squeezed, but then if there's bearish action, I wouldn't be surprised this thing got cooked on earnings. Apple. Here you go. We talked about it dropping quickly. Has to hold this area, and it's clearly, it clearly is somewhere in this area. That's the reference. All right, bounce. Again, nothing goes down a straight line. We talked about this being bearish. If you were short it, you were winning. Trade around your positions. Congrats. Amazon, watching the 20-day. If it breaks, it's gone. Meta, Trump talking out there, saber rattling again. I don't really have a horse in this game. Again, I got stopped out, but this thing looks like it's topped out. I mean, you can't go any higher at this point. The market cap to revenue to what it's trading at. Again, market rises, then it will. But if not, and the market looks like it's suspect and it will chop around, go down in time, then you don't want to own this stuff. Trust me. CRM, chopping around. Google, chopping around. Dead cat bounce. We talked about the heroes trying to buy the dip here. Okay. So far, but holding the 200-day heroes win. Microsoft, 415, we said watch. Just chopping around. DAQ, again, I'm impressed this one rallied back, but I'd keep it on it because now you have references up at the 61. MicroStrategy with Bitcoin rising. This is not a pretty candle. This is not a pretty candle. You open at the high, you open up, you rise, you give it all back, and you close at the high, low of the day with volume. I mean, if you're a bull, you're hoping it's some sort of fake out. If not, you've got extra special problems. Again, I don't know. We'll see. Again, I mean, I don't trust anything because when the liquidity goes out, it chops, it flops, and it goes nowhere. And again, that's where there'll be better trades shorting. Netflix, there you go. Roblox, chop. Band W, a Nancy Pelosi special. You got a 4-day range here. Watch 279 or watch the 200-day. Pretty simple. Tesla going nowhere fast. Everybody's excited about it. I mean, has to hold these levels. And as we've talked about, it's dead money. It could chop and then chop and it could chop. Airbnb, fake out, breakout. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't see the housing that strong, but near term, who knows? Costco, look at their earnings. That's death candle. Game over. Now, don't be surprised if it bounces at some sort of level, 700. That doesn't look good. That looks like a top. Starbucks, again, he's noticing these topish action or names that are just lagging. Starbucks broke the channel, chopping around, looks ugly during OPEX. FedEx, I noticed this one is up today. Interesting. Is it breaking out? It's got to get over 254. So far, I mean, so good for that thing. Caterpillar breaks out. Is it giving it back up? Worth a watch, because this feels like the top, but it doesn't mean you can't trap sometimes. You're like, what do you mean? No traps. Bull and bear traps. Duh. Here you go. New core gaps. I mean, fake breakout. Gets over 190. Can't do it. X looks like it's going to just hang out until the next suitor shows up, because I don't think it's going to get bought by Nippon Steel. VALE. Chop, chop. New lows. I mean, it's just arrow, coppers chopping around. CCJ. Everybody loves uranium. Chopping around. I mean, this is hard, y'all. Again, I love these names. I love ag. I love materials long term, but I just think, again, it'll be easier to buy when everybody flushes out. Mosaic, same kind of thing. Keep in mind, some of these names might not make new lows, but they might just chop around. NTR, same thing. AA Aeron, chopping around. XLF rallied into the close, a little disappointed, but it's just holding the 8 day. I said watch the 8 and 10 day. So far, it's holding it. JP Mo, same thing. Holding the 8 and 10 day. Morgan Stanley, this has been a dog. Ruff. Going nowhere. The Morgan Stanley. We've talked about this one. Sorry, the Bank of America. Morgan Stanley going nowhere. Bank of America, I mean, you got to give it credit where credit's due. Making a slightly higher high, right? Let's see what happens here. Just keep an eye on that. Goldman Sachs, I mean, every day, 395 fail. 395 fail. Once this to 375, that's where I'd be nervous. Carry, we talked about this. Dogs lagging, popping, flopping, chopping. Keep an eye on it. The XBI, man, this is hard, right? Breaks out, looks great, gives it back. But now at the 20 day. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of names that aren't confirming. This is what's so difficult. And if you're looking at the market through the lens of a few names, you're like, this is amazing. It's not. No. HYD, chop, chop. I mean, I don't know why anyone would buy that stuff. Solar. Here you go. Just dead. Bouncing around. Yawn. Sedge. Chop, chop. Fizz, fizz. What a relief it is. I mean, I can't tell you much on these other than that. Maybe like this one, I mean, I'd watch references. But after that, I don't think they have any upside near term, especially if Mr. Senior Frog Trump gets in. I think he's going to put a kibosh on subsidies for that stuff. And here you go, first solar chopping around. All right, last but not least, good old oil. Oil. We talked about the huge short interest. I don't think it has a tremendous amount of downside, so be careful unless the market dumps. UNG, we talked about this thing. It's tough. The hardest trade, the easiest trade is KOLD. So don't be surprised when it bounces here. Again, I'm watching these 140s. XOP, holding up pretty well. Got to give it credit. Holding up today. ExxonMobil, there you go. Nice little popper on it. Homies in the Discord room talking about put sales and people being bullish on it. Correct. Looks like it's rising. CVE, man, this thing looks like it's ready to go, but it's just chopping. Valero, holding up extremely well. Near new highs. MPC, new highs. Got to give it credit. We're the gas names, right? Occidental, dead money, just chopping between a big chop range, 60s to 50s. EQT, we talked about this. They had a big merger with, I think, another company, specifically with, I think, Upline, natural gas delivery services. I don't know. I was watching this. I was like, okay. I mean, I'd keep an eye on this, because if it gets beaten down post-merger, it might be a good play, honestly. They could diversify. Last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, I think we're massive natural gas exporters long term. Natural gas exporters. Because it's going to be so cheap, so plentiful. So if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, please reach out. Always here to help. Use the Calendly link below. Let's schedule a chat. Let me know how I can help you. Always here to whatever your real estate trading needs, whatever. I mean, keeping an eye on things. Again, within the market, I've told folks, if you have shorts on and you have certain sectors, great. If you were patient, great. You waited for the death candles, and now you're like, where do I short? Wait for the pops. Wait for the chop. We'll give you some action. Don't chase it. And also keep in mind, you have a big NVIDIA. I think they're having one of their conference with product display. Be aware of it. So if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out. The real estate market, as I'm seeing, is it's hit or miss. It's obviously definitely state dependent, local dependent, but it's also hard with these interest rates at 6-7%. So if you have any questions, do yourself a favor, leave a comment below, reach out. I appreciate you guys because, again, doing those little things, leaving a like is much appreciated. I'll talk to you guys and gals later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.